Always.
You just got a little food in you? You feeling better?
I feel fantastic now. I feel great.
Well, Chance, we just had our last match, winners bracket final. Rise Nation looked good, firmly in control. It never was much of a series. Now the game one was pretty crazy, but you needed an unreal result from Patrick Price. How do you feel about Rise Nation going forward in the final? You think they're still the favorite? I know you made a comment saying you think Faze is really the team to beat still for you.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be tough not to call Rise the favorite just because they're the one in the winner's bracket. And if Faze or C9 made it there, it'd be the double best of 5 thing that they'd have to go through. So a very difficult task. I think based on that alone, you could just go ahead and give Rise a slight edge. But I do think if Faze makes it there, it's definitely going to be a tough task.
All right, Teep, we got to talk a little bit because you have more insight to this matchup than maybe anybody else would. You know, you teamed with Clayster. You were there when he was kind of removed from the team with Pat. What do you think this means to both of these guys individually for this matchup to beat the other? Because you haven't really had the matchup too much over the past, year or two, just because Aches hasn't been as relevant of a player at the top as Clayster has. What do you think's going on through these guys' minds?
They hate each other's guts. There's no other way to say it. Both players have a very particular way of thinking about things when it comes to Call of Duty, and most of the time it does not align. So I feel like both players always, whether it's an argument or a Call of Duty match, want to prove that they're superior in some sort of way.
Well, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. That's the stuff I'm looking forward to. Maybe a little bit of animosity between these guys, but we'll see how it all shapes up in the losers bracket final. But before we get started, we've got some pre-match interviews with Benson.
Thanks very much, Maven. I'm down here on the floor with Lacefield and Attach. Attach, I'm going to start with you. PSX, you had an MVP-like performance. What's been the key for success for you really at the start of IW?
Just playing the game a lot, practicing with my team. It's just like the most simple, basic things. I'm not doing anything crazy, like any crazy hours of practice. Just putting a lot of good practice with the team in, and then it's just working out really well.
Obviously, you guys right now, you're on fire, going through a big losers bracket run. I managed to catch the end of that last hard point. You guys clutch up by 2 points. I mean, how are you guys doing this right now?
I mean, our team just randomly clutches up at any time. So whenever we're down by 250 to like 1 point, or 249 to 1 point, like we could still somehow bring it back. I don't know how we do it, but it's crazy.
Hey, you're doing it, and that's what matters, right? Final question, what's your mentality going into this losers bracket final right now?
Well, it's our first event in Infinite Warfare, and it feels good to be top 3 again. So we're happy. We want to make it all the way. We want to win this, and we just have a lot of energy, a lot of hype, and we're ready to play.
Wonderful, wonderful. Over on the other side, Lacefield, obviously you guys coming off a loss, got to ask you straight off the bat, what went wrong last series for you guys?
Honestly, I think it was just the first series of the day for us, and so we're not warmed up, honestly, so a couple key adjustments, and we'll be fine.
Fair enough. Obviously, this Faze squad getting a little bit of heat, coming in this losers bracket final a little hot. What's the key to beating these guys?
The key to beating them is just being composed, staying composed, and playing as a team, communicating, trading, effectively.
Obviously, you talk about composure. You guys have been very, very composed. You've had a ton of Game 5s. How are you guys consistently clutching up when you need to?
Like I said, just maintaining composure. I mean, I don't know how we do it either, honestly. It's just, I don't know, it's just clutch factor in this.
Fair enough. Well, good luck to you both in this losers bracket final. Let's get everything down from the floor. Can send it back over to the analysis desk.
Thank you, Ben. All right, so got to see, we talked a little bit about the veterans in Clayster and Eggs. Got to see something from the young guys. I believe the 2 youngest on the team, actually, I'm not sure where the Salt and Lacefield, but 2 of the younger guys, certainly. I love what we've seen from Attach, too. He's developed into one of my favorite players in the league. We saw the video yesterday where he was driving, I don't even know what you call that thing.
Excavator.
Excavator, is that what it is?
Excavator. I think so.
Excavator?
Don't quote me on that.
I don't know anything about that stuff, but that was hilarious. He's become fantastic on camera. You've really seen him kind of grow up on the scene. But Attach, with those 2 players in general, Teep, who do you think has the best chance to make an impact here?
Well, from what we've seen today, I have to lean towards Attach. If you're talking about the entire tournament, might be a little bit closer. I don't know. If Lacefield's right in the fact that they just weren't warmed up in that first series, hopefully we'll see a better game here. But with the way things have been going, I don't know. It's looking towards Faze.
You have a prediction for me, a chance? You have a gut feeling where this is going to go?
Yeah, 3-0 Faze.
Yeah, it's sort of how it sounded when we were casting earlier. 3-0 Faze. So we talked about Aches and Clayster. And, all right, so were you the captain of the squad at one point through the Complexity EG run? No? Okay, all right. Well, in my heart, you were the captain, Teep. So you're the captain.
Probably the mental captain.
They're your 2 former teammates. You have to give a word of wisdom to Aches going into this matchup. What is it, Teep?
Play like you did on that retaliation hardpoint.
That's
pretty simple stuff.
Yeah, that is.
Right? That was the best performance we've seen here.
Now the same thing for Clayster. What are your words of wisdom for Clay?
Yell at Pat.
Just try to get in his head?
Piss him off. Put them on tilt some way, somehow.
Because some players,
Be annoying.
Some players play better when they're pissed off. Some get a little bit razzled, right? You never know what outcome you're going to get with Pat. You saw, he was clutch in the respawns. Didn't look too good really in the search and destroy. We'll see what teams we get. Now, let's talk a little bit maybe specifically. We're going to be getting into the series soon, but I want to talk a little bit about search because yes, it could be a 3-0, like you said, chance, but I have a feeling these searches could be what is close between these two teams. Do you think somebody has a distinct edge here? We know there's been a lot of Game 5s for Cloud9, but do you think one of these teams is superior?
Again, just going off of today, we saw that last series. They got absolutely smoked in the search and destroy by Rise.
6-0, right?
Outclassed completely. But in previous days, Cloud9 has had some pretty solid strategies on each of the maps. Maybe it was just a bad map for them overall on Crusher, but I don't know.
That's true. Well, let's take a look, Chance, at the map order here. We're going to kick things off with Breakout Hardpoint. We just got to see Cloud9 on a Breakout Hardpoint. For a new viewer that may just be tuning in, how did that go for them?
Not very well. And then we also saw Faze play on Breakout Hardpoint a few times, and it went very, very well. Of course, the Spice was the 250-22 game, but even against Optic Gaming, that was a pretty convincing win they had.
And still one of the most memorable maps for me will be the Faze comeback at PSX, which was also on Breakout against Orbit, where you saw that insane, 245 to 170, whatever it was, and they come roaring back. So definitely a strong, strong map for them. If Cloud9 gets pummeled in the game one team, all right, let's talk about this, because I want to focus a lot on Clayster and Aches in this, because you have a lot of insight there, and they're the big names here on the roster. Who do you think, if they lose game one, who do you think has a better chance to maybe kind of rebound from that, if you're talking about those two figures?
Oh, man. I don't know about which one's going to be better. They're both extremely good. That's something that we sort of thrived on throughout our sort of run on the Cole days, is we just always bounce back. So I think both of them, to be honest. It's a bad answer, but they're both extremely good at it.
I'm curious, what's it like for you two? Because you have these two guys. Obviously, you played with them for a long time. You've now, you've moved on. You're working on the broadcast role. You're working with developers too on some various things. What's it like, kind of watching these two now for you?
It's awesome just to see how the rivalries have formed, all the sort of bad blood, and all the arguments you had in teams sort of come to light now.
Yeah, it really has. Into it, we'll toss it up to the desk. Puckett, take it away, buddy.
Thank you, Maven. I'm bringing you the beautiful voice of Mr. Who are we watching, and who do you have your eyes on? Cloud9 just lost on this same game type. Who's got to turn it up now?
Yeah, so I think on the side of Cloud9, you're going to be looking at Assault and Lacefield, whether one of those two players can come to life. You saw Aches have a very good series in the respawns against Rise. It was not good enough. At the beginning here, it's going to be Cloud9 getting 1 point, but with the adjustments to this hill, it's going to be very difficult to take any time.
Assault on your screen, looking for the long-range picks. Now going to get up and close on Zuma. They will be scoring first, and of course, if you're just tuning in for the first time, we've moved some hard point spawns around. It's now out in the open. You're going to see a lot less scoring on this first hill. Lacefield and Assault in the kill feed, but Enable starting to answer back for Faze. And honestly, Assault, he's a guy who's been up and down. When he was on the main stage last night, though, he put on a show.
Yeah, and I think the slower playstyle definitely favors Assault, and you see he's going to be starting things off here with the NV4, so you're going to get a little bit more range, going to lose the rate of fire that the K-Bar gives you, but you see, it has great teammate cover, and it's going to be Cloud9 jumping out to an early lead.
Assault picking up another one. That is 4 straight kills to open things up. How are we doing out here in Vegas? You guys having fun yet?
They are.
That's what I thought so.
How can you not have fun in Vegas? I mean, it's almost impossible. But you see Faze, they're going to rotate early. They're going to get control of the hard point attached on the inside with the OSA currently sitting at 0-2. And the OSA going to be very difficult to get close to that center hard point in the first hill. So not really looking too deep into him getting off to a slow start.
Attach, 0 kills, but still scoring. Already has 28 points of hard point time for his team. No one else really touching that hill alone. It's going to be Ricky, though, breaking in for Cloud9. There's a contest going on, so he's looking for that player, checking all the angles, can't find him. Sees the bullets, though, so he knows there's got to be someone on the other side of this doorway. The question is where? Finds one, but unfortunately there is attached to his right. Aches comes in, clears house. It's going to be Cloud9 continuing to score for the final 6 seconds. The key fight, though, going down at the top of the map. Let's go to player 2 here, as he is going to be fighting for drill control. It is Lacefield, and they need a much better game out of him here.
Yeah, and Lacefield had a teammate over by the rotation here, but he drops, and then Faze, they get into cave. They're able to look over him, and that prevents Lacefield from challenging this fight early. And Faze has an opportunity here, probably, to take a ton of time.
It's all Faze in the kill feed so far. Attached, looking for a second kill. Poking down Lacefield. Lacefield will be finished off by Enable's NV4. and they just have so much protection. They also have that flanked watch. That's going to be done by Clayster, who has always been an incredible anchor throughout his Call of Duty career. They're going to need Clay, though, to get into the action. As Ricky breaks through, he finds the opening 2 kills. Cloud9 scoring and bringing this game ever closer. Faze, though, they have at least 2 pushes left, and actually as this one falls, they might just rotate for the new hard point. It looks like that's where they're setting up at the commissary. Zuma waiting for the push coming in from Cloud9. Cloud9 with the lead. The question is, for how long?
And this has just been a really odd hardpoint game thus far, from the standpoint that, obviously slower playstyle, with the longer spawn points, it's going to take a little bit longer to get back towards the hardpoint. But I mean, you just look at the kills. I mean, Zuma with 11 leads the lobby. You have Attach with 1 kill as well. Now, the side of Cloud9, I mean, they're just not really picking up a ton of kills, but they're able to get the time. So they're getting the kills inside of the hardpoint. That's what it tells me.
Zuma is now double positive. He is 12-6 on a 3 streak. He has been the key factor here on this last rotation, shutting down 4 players in a row. And actually, that 4th one not going to happen. Won't be able to finish it. Doesn't matter, though. His teammates are there. And you're going to see Faze approaching the 100-point mark in hardpoint. It's the first team to 250 points. And here comes Zuma on the flank. He's going to fall off the map, though. Hard to aim and wall run at the same time. It doesn't matter. Clayster's going to pick up the final 10 seconds, and the next big battle will be going down in the center of the map.
Yeah, Clay was crucial on that hill, though. He was able to hold that back helipad area, win 2 or 3 gunfights against Assault, cleans one up in the hardpoint at the end. And Faze starting to come alive. And this is scary for Cloud9, because once this Faze team starts rolling, they're very difficult to stop.
Inside the hill, you're watching Zuma. He's on the patrol, and Zuma has been my favorite player to watch in Infinite Warfare. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm a bit biased. Since IW came out, I've been watching him grind. He just plays so fast, and you can see just the number of interactions, already 16-9, has been so much more involved than anyone else in this game.
Yeah, it's great to see Zuma play that aggressive play style, but it only works if Clay and the rest of the guys are able to get control of those spawns, because if Zuma's just going to keep being aggressive and just kind of force these engagements, it's great if he can kind of go 50-50, right, put a lot of pressure on the opposing team, but if they don't have the spawns, he's going to end up spawning his own teammates out pretty far. So I give a lot of the credit to Clay and Enable, for really locking down those spawns at the beginning of the hills.
Good credit. We're going to have Attach. Currently 2-9, trying to back up Zuma. He's going to be forced down, though. Great protection from the window. Assault is going to be picked as Faze will pick up the final 5 points. Here comes the rotation once again. Last time this battle was won by Cloud9, and it looks like this time around they are set up first. Faze is going to have to break in, and the first player on defense is going to be Assault at the top of the minimap. He's cleaned up. Now you're going to see Aches with the grenade on Attach answer back, but Cloud9, they need more support. Here comes the Faze push.
It's a big gunfight by Aches, and he's going to win it. And Assault, he drops when he's holding down this anchor position. Aches slides in, picks up 1 kill. And that's going to help Cloud9 lock this hard point down. And Assault coming off the spawn. He's just going to be watching this side door. He's got teammates in the back. They need to fly out the back, get control of the spawn area, because now they're going to get pinched on.
Here comes that push. Cloud9 has brought this to just a 3-point game, and they will take the lead as Faze runs away. They're going to go to the top of the map once again. Watch those red arrows setting up. Last time they got into position, they got basically 60% of the score and then moved to the commissary for a full 60. Will they be able to do it once again? We're about to find out. Zuma has no idea. Right behind him was Ricky all along. Ricky, this time, making sure that they're pinching from both sides. And the key player here is Lacefield. He's got to play this one patient, wait for his teammates to distract, and then push out. Lacefield, though, trying to do the opposite. It's going to pick up 2. The one-man army's going to grab a 3rd, and the 4th will fall at the hands of Aches. Fantastic plays from Lacefield. You said this is one of the guys who needs to heat up. That was a game changer.
Yeah, and for a second, I didn't think that was going to work out for Cloud9. They get in a perfect spot where they're able to pinch, and it looked like they were going a little bit slow, but Lacefield bails them out with a big 3-piece there, and they get control of the hill. And you got to wonder, Chris, what is going on with Attach right now? 6-13, uncharacteristic for Attach, especially here in Infinite Warfare, one of the better players we have. Just a really rough start.
And I was just watching Attach up against ALG on the feature station. He was having some great respawn games. So a slow start here for Attach, but don't expect that to stay consistent throughout this series. He is definitely one of their stars. On your screen is Ricky as he's going to pick up the final points. The rotation is going down, and last time this situation was happening, it was Zuma, player number 7 on the mini-map. who was doing so much damage. But Zuma is picked off first, and this is going to open the floodgates for the Cloud9 push.
Yeah, and you'll see Enable on the back trying to lock that down. Assault's going to win the fight at Helipad this time, so much different than the first time this hill came up. And Cloud9 with a pretty easy break here. And you see Zuma in the kill feed pushing towards that hard point. Look at where everybody else on the map is for Faze. Just pushes it by himself. That's what I was talking about earlier. When they don't control the spawns, it makes that aggressive playstyle that he likes to use much harder.
Just like we saw on the other stage here in Las Vegas, I want to give some credit to our observer. We brought up Rondez Green, aka Fox the Don, hanging out with us up in the casting booth. He's going to be driving your player cams, and Fox is going to catch Enable cleaning up the second pick there. 19 and 14, a 4 streak for Enable, a minute and 22 in scoring. He is leading his team in all categories. Attach, on the other hand, starting to pick up a few more kills, but he's still -6. Not able to be the contributor they are looking for quite yet. Cloud9 trails by 16 points, but this game is far from over.
Hey, and you kind of get the vibe that, Faze is just letting Cloud9 hang in this game, but you see Faze going to pick up 3 kills there. They're going to get control of the hard point. You do have some abilities coming on the table for Faze, so you do have Clayster with his payload enabled his as well. So we'll see when they decide to use those, potentially maybe take a few extra seconds on a hill and then use them to break.
And Enable was a key player in that defensive setup. He was in charge of making sure no one came from the bottom half of the map. As he falls, Cloud9 is able to push through. In fact, it's Lacefield with 3 straight as he will retake control. Cloud9 with 20 points still to go here, could tie this one up once again. Meanwhile, everyone else setting up on the map for the new hard point. Zuma picking up 2, stopping Cloud9 from scoring. And Faze is going to come into this one with 220 to 192 on your scoreboard.
But it's okay if you're Cloud9. I mean, you rotate early. As long as you win these gunfights, you're in good shape. Clay, though, takes out Lacefield right at the beginning. And now it's going to be another gunfight for Clayster in the back. You see that arrow number 5. He's going to be able to take out Eggs. Those are 2 big wins there for Clay.
Enable on your screen has used his camo, decided it's time for the payload, but he's shut down anyway. And that's a big kill from Assault, who landed the headshot. Once the opponent has popped camo, it's so much more difficult to land your shots. No help from the magnetism. Doesn't need it though. Assault able to get the pick. Lacefield from the front continues to slaughter. It is going to be Cloud9 bringing this within 15 points once again. 30 points remain on this hard point, and we're probably going to see one more unless C9 can break it right here. We're going to have Faze locking it down to the back. C9 throwing those grenades out, Matt, and Zuma's going to stop him short. Faze can win on this hill.
Yeah, and right now you just see Cloud9 just trying to go on this wall run, and they are feeding right now. It's not a good push here from the side of C9. They don't have many options, but this one looks like it's going to be closed out.
3, 2, 1. Faze Squad takes game number 1 on the main stage. And I don't know what went wrong there for Cloud9. You stopped the payload used by a name. You had late.
Yeah, it was Clayster. He was able to pick up 2 kills on the flank. That's what really kind of gave this in favor of FaZe Clan. They're able to get control of the spawns after that and just push right in and get control of that hardpoint.
What a game 1 here for FaZe Clan. They disappointed last night on the main stage, but they're coming out swinging on Sunday, Matt. And we've seen them on a bit of a roll already today. We talked to Cloud9 before the match, and they said, that was our first game of the day against Rise. We were off to a slow start. Well, it doesn't seem they're warmed up yet after 4 games.
That sounds like a normal Pat thing after a loss. It seems like one I've heard before. But I think, look, if you are Cloud9 and Attach has that poor of a game in the first respawn, you have to win it. I mean, because you expect to go into the other respawn game modes. You got to punish that, right? Yeah, and you expect to go into the other respawn game modes, and Attach is not going to have games like that. So it's one that I think Cloud9 definitely let get away.
If you're a Cloud9 fan, though, don't worry. I feel like this is a team who is capable of turning around a series at any moment. We saw it against ALG last night. In fact, they have seen primarily Game 5s throughout this tournament the entire way. Let's take a look, though, at the incoming map. Our next game is going to be Search and Destroy, of course, and that is going to be on Scorch. But we're guaranteed to see a Game 3 for Throwback Uplink. And if possible, Cloud9's going to try and get to that retaliation hardpoint where Aches just had a monster game.
Yeah, and if you just look at some of the stats for Cloud9 in this one, 0% win rate, on Throwback Uplink, so that is not a great map.
That's bad news.
Yeah, in their pool, and you look in the Search and Destroy on Scorch, I know they have a above 50% win rate on that one. So you go into Scorch, you feel pretty good. If they don't win Scorch, Throwback looks like that one where FaZe could end it pretty quick.
In fact, Cloud9's biggest weakness throughout this tournament has been their uplink game. They've only won won 20% of all of their games in uplink. So game 3, the swing game, not their best. So they really need a win here. Otherwise, we can see a hot 3-0 in a Faze Rise matchup in our grand final today.
Yeah, which would be a rematch. Rise gets the better of Faze earlier in the tournament. You look to see Faze come in a little bit hotter. Maybe they could give Rise a better game, but Rise looks like, they are the team to beat, I think, without question, obviously, in the winner's bracket right now, in the grand final, but they have just been so consistent in all the game modes.
Are you surprised to see All-Americans here in our final 3? Did you expect maybe a run from Splice, Elevate? Anyone else here?
No, not at all.
No.
Really, to be quite honest with you, no. I expected this kind of, well, not the teams maybe I expected, but I did not think that. I think Europe probably needed one event to kind of get used to the play style again and whatnot, and then they'll start building on that. I think Europe in the next event will definitely come into play.
There's a look at the GOAT. We were yelling down to the main stage before this match. We were asking Pat, how do you feel? He's like, dude, it's Sunday. I'm not used to playing on Sundays. Normally, it's all about Saturdays for me.
Yeah, it's the first event of the year and the last event of the year that you'll see Aches on Sunday. Everything else, Saturday, he's done and good.
He saves it for the big shows.
Yeah.
Kick off the year strong and finish with the biggest paycheck possible. That's the game plan for Pat Price, at least the last 2 years. We'll see how things play out here today, though. It takes me back, man, to the several opens where Pat just can turn things around. You never know which team he's going to be entering in. I do like, though, that Cloud9 keeping this team from Black Ops 3 into the new game. They've looked very solid this tournament, and they lived up to all the hype that Jack's been throwing at us all weekend long.
Yeah, I mean, they have all the parts that you would want in a successful team, right? I mean, they have a great leader, they have smart players in search and destroy and respawn game modes. You have younger players that can be kind of trained into, becoming these, fantastic overall players in Lacefield and Assault. So I think they have all the pieces to be like a top flight championship team.
Absolutely. I need to wake up. I feel like this crowd needs to wake up. I need your energy, crowd. Where are my Cloud9 fans at?
There's a few.
There's like 17.
Yeah.
Where are the Faze Clan fans at? I saw Shane O'Neill, one of the best skateboarders of all time, is in the crowd representing the Faze Clan. There are people from all over, a lot of people from LA coming out to watch this match live, cheering on Clayster and crew. We're getting into game number 2, and you look at Search and Destroy, my eyes are on Zuma. The Faze player is so good and so aggressive, but most importantly, he knows how to call shots in S&D. And if he is picked off first, he is going to be watching all of his teammates' screens and making sure they know exactly where to go to open things up. He's got support right behind him. They've seen a player, and there's the opening grenade. Enable picks up Ricky. A perfect start, 2 down. It is Faze in a 4-on-2 advantage. They got to get the bomb down, though.
And now they have complete control over this A site. I mean, you see where the arrows are for Cloud9. They're on the outside looking in. It's going to be very difficult to get through these narrow chokes.
Enable going to get that bomb safely planted. Aches working with Assault, and Assault will take out Attach. So this made a little bit easier, but Aches is saying this, well, that looks like bait, son. Not going to touch it quite yet. The bomb will be left on the floor. Assault challenging across, can't land the headshot. His opponent will survive, at least for now. On the other side of that wall is going to be Clayster. Here's the up-close battle. Clay was not expecting it. Assault is going to peek him up close and personal, but with 15 seconds left on the clock, the round is finished. Faze Clan picking up all 4 kills before that bomb detonates.
And that is such a good play by Zuma, because when Assault picks up that first kill on the flank, instead of just kind of holding this position, Zuma pushes straight through. He takes out Aches. Even if Zuma dies in that situation, Enable's able to trade that kill on Assault, it's still going to force Aches to come down into the hallway. So a smart play there by Zuma.
It's all math. On the attack, it's going to be Cloud9. Let's go over to him as we see what they are bringing to the table. Ricky has been their bomb planner throughout most of the search and destroys, but they've all taken turns shining in their S&Ds. I've seen Assault drop double digits. We saw a big game last night out of Ricky as he played the perfect round 11 against ALG. Here to open things up, Ricky's going to throw out the grenade, see that there's hit markers, and that means there's a player on the other side of this drill.
They're not going to push him right away, so they get him weak again with more nades. It's going to be Assault picking up 1. Enable's able to take out Aches, but here comes a big flank, though. See Assault shutting it down. Zuma trying to go on that for Faze. And now the bomb should go down. Enable, last one up. Should be a round win for Cloud9.
Enable looking for the peak. And he's going to be spotted and executed. It's just a matter of time. I do not see him getting away with his life here. 33 seconds left. He's got to get that bomb and get the defuse, but all of Cloud9 is there to support. Enable gets off way too many shots before Cloud9 finally hunts him down, but it ties it up 1 apiece. Pat Price with a quick fist bump there with Assault.
Yeah, but nobody puts themselves in any harm's way here for Enable to make anything crazy happen. I mean, he just gets tagged up by a few players from all different directions. You see Assault with the emote there at the end.
You got to salute after you get that final kill.
No, it's
good round, brother.
It's mandatory. It's mandatory. We'll see what the FaZe Clan team does here on the offensive end. I think they should go with that aggression again over towards A. They were very effective on it. And I think, look, if you look at this team, their best attribute is just the fact that they have just crazy gun skill. Like, you need to use that in this matchup. Cloud9, you know, is going to play a little bit more passive, going to give you more map. So I feel like if you're FaZe, you need to just take it early.
Clayster underhands the trophy system forward. Meanwhile, on board with Attach, using that propulsion, but the grenade's coming in. They know exactly where he's at. He's got to fly away from this battle. Has a little bit of support. His teammate shooting over his shoulder to the left, excuse me. And we're going to see Attach look for this opening pick. He's just waiting for a push from Cloud9, but so far neither team willing to engage. The bomb goes down, and here's the action.
Yeah, once bomb goes down, 2 players from Cloud9 fly over the top, and it's going to be Zuma trying to back out. You see Clayster in a perfect position on the mini-map there. You see number 1 coming around on a big flank here, and just look at all these players line up here. Puckett, he's going to get one. Has another player on top of bomb. It's going to be Ricky able to win that gunfight. It's going to put Zuma here in a 1v2.
And Zuma already picked up 1. He is going to get the second.
As Zuma wins the round there for FaZe. He did a good job just baiting himself out, giving Clay enough time to get around that corner and make a play. Such a difficult gunfight here for Ricky to win. Has to go around so much open area to look.
Yeah, check 15 corners while running. Not always the best time there for Ricky.
No, not an easy fight.
He's going to be talking up with Lacefield, who is very frustrated after that previous round. FaZe with the advantage, but Cloud9 could answer back. And throughout the S&Ds and IW, a lot of the players are saying it favors the attacking team. We've seen that so far with the attacking team winning 3 rounds. Here comes the opening push, and it's going to be 3 down. Unfortunately, one of them was a team kill, so you're going to have 2 up for Cloud9. That's Lacefield and Assault working up against Zuma and Enable, as well as Clayster. It looks like all 3 players are just going to go hug that A bomb site, then work their way around the mini-map. We're not going to see a gunfight for quite a while.
Well, I think it's because of how passive these 2 players were playing on Cloud9 that FaZe just assumed that once they killed those 2 players that everybody else was going over towards A, because they did not even see Lacefield or Assault. Lacefield's going to get tagged up from the side. It's going to be Assault here in a 1v3. He's going to get 1.
And this is possible, Matt.
Yes, checks his back, knows if there's players from FaZe around this area. And now actually FaZe is going to elect to rotate here, so this could get dangerous for FaZe Clan.
And Assault is going to have plenty of time to put this bomb down. His camo could be huge throughout this game. Will FaZe peek him in time? The camo now available. Does he use it here? Gets a one-on-one situation. He's going to win it. The 1v3 clutch here for Assault.
You can't let that happen. Like that first, like when you know where Assault is, when the first player drops, you have the 2v1 advantage. Just challenge him. Just challenge him in that back corner. I mean, you're able to just get over the rock. You can just force him to look 2 different directions. You take him out with ease. As soon as you let him get lost on the map and get bombed down, and then once he gets the camo, you kind of saw that one coming.
The payload kind of the difference maker. You can't let the bomb go down. I think that was the crucial error, as you pointed out. We're on board with Enable, the bomb carrier for FaZe Clan, and he is going to be working towards a camo of his own. It's round number 5, all tied up. If you're just joining us, already we've seen FaZe take the first hard point in our best of 5. They lead 1-0 here in the lower bracket finals. Long-range shots going down. Attached with the OSA, taking out Lacefield. Now the action coming in. Enable, unable to finish off Assault, so the trade's not happening quite yet, but Attach is getting real aggressive here.
Yeah, and that is not a fight that Cloud9 wants to take. They want to play a little bit more passive, but look at this positioning here from Attach. So smart. Oh, he's going to fire down the hallway. And with the OSA, those are some difficult shots. Now he's going to give away his position, going to give the position away of his teammate here as soon as this bomb goes down.
And Attach is going to have to work with Enable. Enable has the NV4 though, so could just fire down the hall and do massive damage. You're going to look for Attach with the OSA to position himself for a close range fight. 30 seconds left before this bomb detonates. Cloud9 is the team forced into the action here. It's going to be Assault pushing in first.
They have a lot of time to work with here. 22 seconds left. They need to start making a push here, and you see Assault. He's spotted 1. He's going to turn the corner. They're going to be able to take out Enable, and Ricky coming on the flank takes out Attach. A good 2v2 clutch there from Cloud9.
And there are the 17 fans here in Las Vegas for Cloud9, putting their hands together. There we go. People waking up now. 3-2 advantage. And we're going to go into round number 6. Here's a look at Ricky's final kill. As Assault was defusing the bomb, Ricky wins the battle versus Attach in the one-on-one. I like what we're seeing out of Cloud9. I think that play from Assault, the 1v3, was the spark they needed to move forward, Matt.
Yeah, and it's just around that phase. I mean, at that time in the game, you can't afford to give away. Assault,
look at this.
11-2, working on his way towards full streaks, only 25 points away.
And even the streaks he has right now are plenty for Search and Destroy. You got your Scorchers, you got your Trinity Rocket, the bombardment not necessarily required to win. And we're going to see Ricky with the bomb pushing up Assault. He's just going to sit in the back. They don't want him picked early. They're going to let him work on those streaks, and he's going to call in the missiles. Blowing up that trophy will give him the bombardment. So all score streaks locked. The first one going to be wasted, and it's going to be a 3-on-3 with the bomb still yet to be planted.
Yeah, on the side of Faze, they have a very good idea that the bomb was going to be going down on the B site, and you see Aches saves Lacefield there. Lacefield trying to get bombed down. One player coming over the top, and you know, right now, if you're Faze, there's no reason. I mean, somebody who's watching the back, just converge over here on the B site. You know this is where that plant was trying to come down. Enable trying to kill a player off a bomb, not able to do so.
2 streaks used, 0 kills coming in, and they're going to put Enable in a tricky spot. Meanwhile, you can see that number 3 on the minimap rotating around. I like the pinch setup here. Is it going to play off?
Zuma gets by 1. It's going to be Lacefield able to take out Enable on the other side of the map.
And that's the worst timing possible, because now Enable has to run in, running out of time, and they are going to get shut down. They had the right idea, poor execution though, and you can't just guess that Lacefield's going to push out on you and pick you off the box.
Nope. And the guys on Cloud9, they just do a phenomenal job of just staying alive. Like, they don't force any gunfights that they don't need to. You see, they'll pop out, they'll put a few shots in, another guy will jump out, put a few shots in. They never put themselves in harm's way when it's not necessary.
Uh-oh. Big boy toys out. We got Clayster with the sniper. He's seen the action over at A every single round. He's going to try and get an early pick. Meanwhile, his teammates spreading out around the map. They're in a position to where they can go anywhere based on the opening kill.
This is a risky play from the side of Faze as well. I mean, if Clay cannot get any vision on anyone on Cloud9, I mean, he is going to be not of good use to this Faze team for the rest of the round. So we'll see. It's kind of an all-in play here. And he's got one player directly in front of him. Okay, there you go, able to get him with a pistol. So now Clay is going to be able to trade that out for the K-bar. Now he's in a very good position.
I thought Clay was going to get caught with his pants down there, was switching weapons while his teammate was taking fire. Now you can see these blue players on the other side of the wall through the X-ray. Of course, Clayster has no idea they are there. But he says, I got this front door watched, which means we're going to be safe, boys. Zuma is going to be in the action. He's going to pick Assault. Clayster is there to support as well. So the distraction working out perfectly. 3 down, make it 4, and it's a Faze round. They bring it back within 1, 4-3 here in game number 2.
Yeah, and once Clay picks up that first kill and gets in that position, it's going to be almost impossible for Cloud9 to attack from that side of the map. You really need to either rotate towards the middle, like almost right on top of the bomb, or go all the way towards that Faze spawn. Just not enough time there, and Faze picks up the kills, closes out.
And we talked about Zuma being kind of a vocal leader in S&D. It looks like Enable is going to be trusted for the opening shot calls, and then Zuma is going to let him know what he thinks about that play. They're going to trust Enable's call here, and you got to look at Assault and his score streak still available. That bombardment at any moment could turn the tide of this round. Aches looking for the first pick, as it's going to be Ricky drop first. The bomb not going to be able to plant, but Lacefield able to get an opening kill. Enable picks up 2 though, so it's now already a 1v3. Aches the last man up.
He's got players just converging on him inside of the cube, and it's going to be 4-4 round count. And right there, the side of Cloud9 just played very passive. Faze adjusting their strategy, getting aggressive up through the B bomb site. And in this position, I mean, you had a guy watching the backside, 2 guys on the front. Just nothing Aches could do to get out of that situation.
And big credit to Enable. He called that play, attached and Enable, just charged right through to the drill. We're able to pick up your opening 2 kills, and that is the round. Let's go over to Assault on the defensive end. Will Cloud9 be able to stop the bleeding? They've just given up 2 rounds in a row. It's Faze back on the attack.
It's interesting, you see at the top of your screen on the mini map,
yeah, Assault's
everybody for Faze just going over towards the A bomb site. We saw them do this earlier in the game. They pick up 2 easy kills, and Enable's going to get caught on the wall run. He's going to drop, but Clayster picking up 1, and Zuma just trying to decide. He doesn't have any teammate here to trade this out, so needs to be pretty careful, and yeah, that's a good decision. He's going to back out.
And with that bomb dropping, it looks like Clayster is going to be able to pick it up in the spawn. We're going to see Zuma, though, the player in position to catch Cloud9 on the rotation. No one over at the new site, and Zuma knows it. So everyone's going to be pushing for Cloud9. They're looking for a pick, though, on Faze before that bomb will be planted. And now, finally comfortable. The bomb is down at B. Shots in the back, and here comes the bombardment. Assault cleans up two. It's all of a sudden just Attach. Attach gets one, but there's too many Aches and Lacefield left alive, and they're going to give the defuse to Lacefield here. He's working towards a Scarab. That's about it as we enter round number 9. It is, or round 10 rather, it's going to be a 5-4 advantage here for C9.
Yeah, and they're going to give the defuse to Aches, it looks like. So
for the rewind.
Yeah, Aches going to get the defuse there towards the end. So 5-4, still in favor of Cloud9.
And I like that decision making. You know, you don't just rush and go and defuse the bomb. You take a look at everything, and Aches says, actually, I think if I get this defuse, I'm going to get my payload. So Aches now has that. And around where they could lock things up, it's Cloud9 on the attack. You're currently watching the defense from Faze. Clayster with the sniper rifle going to be overlooking the drill.
See how this works out. And the sniper rifle, you see Clay just get a little bit of a line of sight there. And as soon as the players on Cloud9 see this, they're probably going to back down. And see just trying to get an angle on Assault in that back rock area. He's been so strong there for this Cloud9 offense. Watching the flank, that could open things up for Faze if he's able to get this pick. And
Attach is trying to bait it out for him. You see Attach right here has been jumping forward, making noise, but no one from C9 biting yet.
So the bomb goes down, and Clay, you're going to see on your screen, just going to look right over the top, and it's going to be Zuma and Enable picking up a kill apiece. It's going to be Assault, the only one alive. He's been playing in the same spot the whole game. See if they challenge him.
Well, he clutched a 1v3. If he gets a kill, he's going to have another camo, and he can't stop the bomb defuse. Instead, it's going to be Faze Clan, and Zuma has his reactive. Attach, he's not going to be anywhere near streaks. Enable will get the defuse and get ever closer towards his next camo. Going to a round 11, Matt, here in game number 2. Faze took your hard point. They now have an opportunity to go up 2-0.
Yeah, and the bomb is planted for Assault in that position, misses a few shots. If he's able to pick up that kill, maybe he gets back into the cave, kind of disappears for a while, forces Faze to come out, challenge him. Maybe he makes another insane clutch, but we have a round 11 in our hands here in game number 2. Now it looks like, we'll see if anyone has their payload abilities up. It looks like Clay does.
Just Clay on the other side. Aches will have a rewind. Keep in mind that Assault is 100 points away from earning his, so a kill to open things up will be a huge swing in favor of C9. Enable firing first, giving up the position, and they know that he is the player that likes to carry the bomb. So now you see a full rotation here from Cloud9. Would have been good time for mind tricks here from Faze, but they're going with the plans that they have practiced. Ricky with your opening kill.
Yeah, and Clay drops without using his payload. I believe Clay has overdrive on at the time, so not going to be able to get any use of that. Now with Faze having so much success going with these fast attacks, and you have that overdrive, I'm surprised you didn't see them use that and push towards B.
Enable trying to survive. They desperately need help from Attach, who has been moving around the map, trying to help out his teammates from a flank. And Attach now with an opening opportunity. 2 players in front of him, can't land the shots on the first, cleans up the second, and he is going to be baited into a kill. It's now a 2-on-2, and the last one up makes it Enable versus Assault. Assault with the clutch. We got to see this in your round-ending kill cam, but Cloud9 coming up huge. They led at 4-2, and Assault picking up a kill earlier in this round, earned his payload and locks it down. That is 2 big clutch.
With active camo, it's so difficult to locate those players. Assault goes 15-6, carries Cloud9 to a Game 2 win.
I saw him put up double digits on the same map on the featured station. He is doing it here on the main stage. He's been up and down in the searches, kind of disappeared in Game 5 versus ALG, but he is showing up big here. This is the lower bracket finals, a spot in the championship on the line, and he just came through huge. 2 massive clutches, both times using that camo.
And that's a huge win for this Cloud9 team. I think if they go down 0-2, I think this series is a wrap. I think Faze takes it 3-0. But now, Cloud9, they find themselves right back in it. They looked decent in that first hard point. Faze able to come out and take it at the end. And Cloud9, I think if they can kind of gain some momentum here, it's a Faze team that's been playing for a while through this loser bracket.
Game number 3 coming up next. We talked about the stats. Well, if you've been playing fantasy football today, you know stats don't matter. They're probably not going to stay consistent for you, especially when it matters most. Faze, they have the advantage statistically coming into game number 3, but now you have Cloud9 with the momentum. This is the swing game.
Yeah, and I think if you look at game number 1, that was a little bit closer than that score indicates, because I know Cloud9, they're down by about 15 or so seconds. They're on that rotation early. They pick up those kills. That's one they easily could have taken. They go up 2-0 in this series. And that Scorch, Search, and Destroy, as close as it could possibly be. Going into throwback, though, I definitely favor Faze in the uplink. Cloud9 has not looked good in this game mode.
And I wonder why that is, because they definitely have the ability to slay. We've seen them do it in the hard points. Is it just the miss 1-point shots like we saw on Precinct, or is it just a lack of organization on the pushes? Where are they going wrong here so far, Matt?
I think it's a combination of problems. I don't think it's just one problem. I think the issues that we've seen from them in uplink is where, you know, they're able to pick up kills in their base, they get the drone, they're not actually able to pick up that second wave of kills and get forward, and just some really passive play from them on uplink. I think that's what you've really seen from them. They've just given up way too much map control, and in this game, when it's so much harder to score, you can't be giving up that much space on the map.
Can't make those mistakes, you can't get spawn trapped. Throwback coming up next, a fairly even map. A lot of the players liking this one for the uplink game mode. It's going to be up to your propulsion player, so look for Attach to really be a key player for Faze. On the other side, I believe it's been, who was it? Who was running that propulsion?
We actually have the
Did they give it for Aches once again?
Yes, so it's going to be Aches with the rewind propulsion combination for the side of Cloud9.
So Aches, not a whole lot of pressure, a ton of pressure. We're going to see if he can handle it here. Faze, one of the better slaying teams throughout the game so far. They're going to be bringing it. Now, when you talk about score streaks, we saw Assault unlocking them and using a few successfully in that Search and Destroy. Are score streaks a big thing when it comes to uplink, Matt?
I think in uplink, I mean, they can be. I think with how hard it is, like we were talking about, to get that second wave of kills, I think the streaks can obviously be used for that on a map like Throwback, but there's a lot of open area. I definitely think they can be put to great effect. I think at hardpoint, streaks are definitely back in a big way, though.
And here comes your rig draft. Our players locking in. Aches is going to get that rewind with the propulsion once again. That's going to allow him to use those afterburners, fly around a little bit more. You got the reactive armor coming in for Lacefield, and on the other side, Zuma is going to be running something similar, but man at arms instead of the shockwave trait. Overdrive, though, that's going to be Ricky, and that is going to be Clayster, your speed booster.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. You're going to be looking at those two players to try and make individual plays to lead to points. Last year, you saw, I know, in Banner Protect, Hussein Overdrive got almost all of the time. This year, you're able to use the Overdrive here in uplink. We'll see if we can see any of these players, specifically Ricky for the side of Cloud9 and Clayster on the side of Faze, see if they come through with any big plays with the Overdrive.
We're going to start things off with Attach. He had a really slow start to our first respawn, but was showing up big, not necessarily always in the scoreboard, but he was always there to support his teammates in S&D in the rounds they won. He's going to be a key player throughout the tournament in the respawn game modes, and he has had some great uplinks up to this point. Running the OSA, he's not afraid to get in the face of the opponents, and right away he's going to charge up the mid.
Now you see he's going to get some good tags onto one player. Zuma's able to take out one. And right now at the beginning of this game, you're just going to fight for this mid-map to try and get drone control. It's going to be Cloud9 after they drop one player. You know, the player in top window is just kind of giving Attach some trouble because he knows he's there and knows he can't get aggressive because he's going to get picked if he pushes up any further.
Attach is going to find one. It's on Lacefield. Hit with the tacticals, slowed down. He's going to be called out, but finally execute. I thought he was going to get the turnaround kill. Unfortunately, not going to land. Instead, it's Cloud9 winning the opening battles. Let's go over to, I'd like to see Lacefield for a little bit. He's the guy who just goes on streaks and takes over games. Aches with the drone in hand is going to be leading the charge. He should probably sit back and wait for an opening kill. Enable going to shut this one down, though. Aches the last man standing, and he won't get anything done. It's Enable and Faze with 4 down running this drone.
It's the hardest thing to do right now in uplink is when you get that first wave of kills, they get the second one. And I was speaking a little bit with TP and Merc, and they didn't understand why people don't throw the drone down and fight as a 4. You see a 1-point play go off. It's going to be Lacefield picking it off in mid-air. Fantastic play by Lacefield, saving a potential score.
This drone not out of the base yet, though. Ricky fighting for control. And he is going to get pinched any moment. Gets one on Clayster. He's going to go for the drone, toss it forward. Faze not giving up yet, but they probably should. You're going to see one player chasing after the carrier. It's going to be Zuma in the back line. Meanwhile, his teammates spawning up on defense. And Zuma's got to get eyes. He calls it out, spots one low, wins the battle, sees the second one on the bridge, finishes it himself. 2 down. That's going to slow down this push coming in from Cloud9. And once again, we got a bit of a stalemate.
Yeah, it's just going to end any push that Cloud9 had any hopes of getting forward. And you see, still going to be Clayster on your minimap with Enable here, push forward on the map. So the FaZe clan should be able to get control of drone, but it's going to be Lacefield and Ricky fighting out of the base, able to get 1 kill apiece. FaZe going to throw the drone for yards. Nice play here, going to give it to the side of Cloud9. Now, Cloud9 still reluctant to grab the drone at this moment in time. They're going to play a little bit more passive. Same with FaZe. I mean, if you're FaZe, you just need to control this mid-map. There's no reason to keep pushing into the Cloud9 base without the drone in hand.
Lacefield's in a key position. I don't know if he realizes it yet, though, and instead he is going to fall back and try and support his teammates. Meanwhile, this drone is running through. It's attached with drone in hand, and he's got a dunk in front of him. Only 1 player coming off spawn. Clayster's going to deal with that on a 5 streak. Let's go over to him. The 4-kill multi-kill coming through as Clay just wiped house.
And it is a big kill by Assault off the spawn, because it is actually 1 player from FaZe set up in the mid-map, watching the mid-rails, and that all the players from Cloud9 are spawning at the top of your mini-map. If Assault doesn't get that kill, this is one where FaZe could potentially rally some scores together.
Aches, your key defender, gets 1, gets a second. Assault and Ricky all in the kill feed. Now it's 4 down for FaZe, and this is going to be the push from Cloud9, but already trailing by 3. They need to put a few points on the board before we get in this second half. 1:50 still to go in our first round of action, and here comes the surge. You got Lacefield picking up 1, but Zuma taking down Attach is going to make it a critical error. The dunk will land, and will stay on with Aches as he continues to slay out the spawners. Big run by Aches. He is now 12-8. He is working towards those streaks, but I don't believe he got it. Assault is setting up to protect this new drone, and they just executed that one perfectly. The error from Zuma, a big error coming through. You can see it now represented on the scoreboard.
Yeah, what you saw there was actually, Cloud9, they give up the 1-point play, and Assault used that time to get all the way into the FaZe base in this back statue area. He was able to pick up some kills. Cloud9 just overextends grab drone middle of the map. They run it in for 2, and now they find themselves only down 1 point here. Assault still just being a nuisance in the FaZe base, going to force them to rotate back. And I like what I've seen from Cloud9 here in the second half of this first portion of Uplink.
Enable is going to play far back on defense, knowing there's someone pushed up. They have found him, they have executed him. Now they can push forward. Attach closest to the drone is going to be upstairs. He's going to have some support from Zuma, and you're going to go over to Zuma now from under the bridge. I expected the flank, but as Zuma goes under the bridge, Egg says, guys, let's just run this the other way. They're going to take it to the top half of the map, and this could be a dunk.
Yeah, and this is something we normally don't see. It's a part of the map you want to avoid, and you see why. Attach and Enable able to pick up some kills as Aches tries to get high on the wall run, but is not done yet. Assault's able to pick up 2. That would have been sick if he was able to win that one, but FaZe, specifically Attach, picks up the kill, and now they're going to bring the drone topside themselves.
Attach not going to get it very far. We're going on the flank with Zuma here. Zuma stopping the push as Aches wanted to get on the drone. Instead, it's Cloud9 forcing the standoff. We go into the first half, 3-2, second half coming up right now. A great opening for FaZe, but they definitely slowed down.
I feel like, though, if FaZe, they kind of get control of that back statue area, they're not going to let it up. I feel like Cloud9 needs to be very careful about this opening break, because you cannot give up that map position. Cloud9, they do a good job, after FaZe picks up some kills at the beginning, getting some points on the board there towards the end with getting Assault into the other team's space.
Taking a look at the numbers, Clayster 15-11, leading the game. On the other side, the best performance so far, it's Aches. He was 12-8 though at 1 point, and he's going to finish the first half 13-12, immediately shut down at the start of this round as well. So Aches has been neutralized while Clayster heats up, and here comes the opening push. FaZe with 3 down is going to push this drone forward. Enable gets past the defender, and here comes a toss. Thought he had a chaser behind him, and it did happen. Assault finally gets the kill, but not before a point is scored.
So they were able to do that because there was 1 player from Cloud9 playing up in the top window, I believe it's Assault, and they just jump up, put a few shots in, and forces them back down. Then you're able to bring the drone through underpass. FaZe looking in championship form here today. So they are up 4-2 here against Cloud9 and Uplink, and Cloud9 now moving, trying to get control of FaZe base. They're picking up some kills. They do not have everybody there. It's just going to be Lacefield and Assault on the side of the FaZe map, and you see, once those guys pick up some kills, the other guys grab the drone, it's just too late. It just takes too long to develop.
They knew Assault was here, but they couldn't move him from the position. Assault continuing to slay out, gets 3 straight kills. and cannot find the fourth. Lacefield will not be able to move forward and lock in this next score. Instead, Aches and Lacefield have to play for the spawn control. And it's going to be Lacefield picking up one up top. Sees a player down low, not going to engage. Instead, I'd actually like to go show you Clayster, as he was that player spotted. I have a feeling Clay's going to hunt him down any moment.
Yeah, he's just hunting for Lacefield here. Does not want to give up any good position in his base to Lacefield. That could be detrimental to their squad going forward in this uplink game. But you see Clay just watching mid-map, some nice shots there, and he's going to earn himself his overdrive.
Score streaks coming in, and it's going to be Assault dropping 2. Opportunity in favor of C9. And there is a player pushed up. You see that player number 2, that's Lacefield getting the opening kills. Let's go over to our drone carrier, Aches. Aches is going to dish this one and try and pick up the kills before they move in. Assault clearing the way. It's Attached falling in the middle, but 3 defenders still up for Faze Clan. Aches about to make the push. Score streaks coming down, and they will move this drone immediately after. It's in the hands of Ricky right behind Aches.
Yeah, and you see it was going to be Ricky having Aches lead the charge, and they're going to pick up the kills, use the streaks to force Faze inside, and we have a tie game. A fantastic play there from Cloud9 to put a 2-point play on the board.
You want to watch the best player in the game? It's Assault.
I was like, which one? There's a few players you can kind of
We're going to stay
talk
on
about here.
through the respawn. He's still got Scorchers. He's been a game changer in the search and destroy. Now in the second half, he has taken over 23 and 12. By far the hottest hand. And he is going to pick up 3. Unfortunately, one of them was Ricky.
So smart to back down there, just gives himself a little bit of extra time, and the time allows Lacefield to come off the spawn and pick this kill up. Now you're going to have both teams fight for this mid-map control. 2 minutes left. Still at a tie game here. You look the top right of the scoreboard, you do have some payload abilities up, and Clayster does have the overdrive.
Assault trying to stop this push from Faze. They have the drone. He's going to land a melee, but the shot going up, and it looks like it's going to fall just short. Can Clayster get the rebound? No, it's Cloud9 tossing it for the reset. Drone back in the middle of the map. We have 96 seconds still to go here, and Clayster is currently on fire. He's got the overdrive as well, and he will be picked off. Attached, looking for the drone. Gonna find a player. The rewind comes in, then saves his life. Uses his own rewind now and continues to battle it out, but that battle is won by C9. Drone control back in their favor, and Clayster will fall on defense.
And you do, I was pointing it out here on the scoreboard, you do have Ricky with overdrive as well. So both players, we talked about in the pregame how big overdrive could be to make an individual play. This is where it could come in.
He going outside? No, he's going through. And he is coming in for the dunk. We talked about it before the game, and you see it playing off. Lacefield's going to pick up 2 more, and Aches is in the middle of the map looking for the carry. Won't be able to get to the drone in time. Let's go back to Ricky. He's still inside Faze's base, causing problems behind enemy lines. Will be cleaned up. Zuma trying to chase down this drone. Will he be able to stop another push from Cloud9 and be able to counter? They're running out of time for Faze Clan. This could be the first win we've seen out of Cloud9 in uplink.
Yeah, they need to get the drone in Clayster's hands. Has that overdrive, 30 seconds left. Be a huge misplay if they're not able to get anything with this overdrive, not even one use, as you see Clay going down bike path, going on a bit of a flank here. It's gonna come behind one of the players in Cloud9.
Peekaboo. Oh no, there is another right next to him. Shut down, 15 seconds left. C9 knows they just got to throw this one for yards, keep it away from their base, and you're going to see a 7-kill streak to seal the deal. It's Lacefield on fire. He's going to call in the score streaks. Game over, 6-4. This one goes to C9.
And Faze gets no use of that overdrive.
Faze was leading at halftime.
And that hardpoint game to kick things off was very close as well. It was 250-205, but Cloud9 is right in that one to that last hill.
Here we go, Matt. Another respawn, another hardpoint. Expectations in this series?
I think this next hardpoint's going to come down to the wire, and I think if you get good games out of Assault like you've gotten in the last 2, I think Cloud9 definitely has a good chance to take it.
Looking forward to this series as it continues. We got a lot of people here in Las Vegas cheering on both teams. Our players going to take a momentary break. Let's hear what our analysts have to say about this one. Benson, what's up, my friend?
Thanks very much, Chris. Down here backstage with Felony. Obviously, you guys have had a fantastic tournament so far. I've got to ask you, what's been a key for success for Rise?
We're a very good search and destroy team. We've always prided ourselves around search and destroy. And with the latest patch in IW, hardpoint really became our strong suit with the spawns being pushed out. And now that we're able to secure our hardpoints and our search and destroys, we're just a really hard team to play against.
Fair enough, fair enough. Obviously, with the game going on right now on the main stage, the losers bracket final, is there a team specifically you would prefer to play against?
No, not really. We played both of them this event. We won against both Faze and C9, 3-1. And I mean, with Faze, I think there'd be more fans in the audience maybe, but it could go either way. I'd be okay with it.
Do you think you have both teams kind of sussed out, if you will? You know both teams' weaknesses, and you would be able to maybe comfortably take the grand final?
Yeah, we definitely don't want to go to a second best of 5. We want to close down the first best of 5. All we have to do is pretty much close out a respawn game, win our S&Ds, and we'll be fine.
Fantastic. Well, good luck to you in the grand final a little bit later on. That's everything from backstage. We can send it over to the analyst desk with Maven.
Great stuff. Looking forward to seeing Felony in the final, but we're not there yet. So I was texting Jack before this match, and he was saying this could be a quick one maybe, and you kind of felt the same way. Chance, Faze might be able to take this, but my only point was they played a couple tough maps with Rise, even though you got nothing really out of Assault or out of Lacefield. Now that those two are coming alive, are you going to give them a chance in both of these series now?
Oh, definitely. Assault is lights out right now. He single-handedly opens the door for them in the uplink, and then the sort of combination with the score streaks, Aches pushes through the back granny area over towards Lime, forces the players in with the bombardment, and get the dunk after that. So Assault starts, and then the rest of the team just know what to do from then on.
Well, has that been the big thing for you, Chance? I mean, is there anything that stands out for you other than that for Cloud9, or really just those two playing like they should play now?
Well, okay, so even the first series we saw with that, the one map they won against Rise, it was when Aches dropped 42 kills. So they need that big performance. We saw the search and destroy. Assault goes 15-6, and he makes 2 pretty big active camo plays to seal the deal, and that goes all the way to round 11. So like they're having these players go off, and they're still close games. So that's exactly what they need to have happen. Obviously, the 2 players stepping up towards the end, as you pointed out, Assault gets streaks, goes on a streak of his own. Lacefield in the end went on 8 streaks. So when those players step up, they do well, but still they're like barely closing out these games, and I just don't know how long they can perform like that.
Yeah, and it's worth noting back to the S&D, like, do you want anyone on your team to have a big game? Sure, but does it pay off more when the big game is coming from your camo player? Yes. I mean, those 2 uses there basically iced 2 rounds where there was no chance for someone in a one-on-one gunfight because of that. If he doesn't drop 15 kills, he doesn't even have that opportunity. So he goes big, is able to take over. But now we're going to be going back to hard points. So the game 1 wasn't all that close. Faze looked very strong there, but they've been very good at breakout. How do you feel about them going forward, team?
I could really see this going to map 5, to be honest. I think Cloud9's struggling at times in the hard point. Just overall strategy doesn't seem to be quite there. They're giving up too much time on most of the intro parts of the hill, and then they don't take the necessary precautions when they're trying to break. They tend to split up, take these weird 1-versus-1 gunfights, and against a team like teams like Faze and Rise, they're going to eat that apart.
I just can't. I mean, I'm split on this one as far as I like guys on both teams, both great brands. Excited to see who's going to be able to take this, but I feel bad for the side of it between Clay and Aches. Whoever wins this, I know there's going to be some words in a post-game interview. There's going to be some talk on Twitter. I'm sure they're going to be going at each other. But right now, it's Aches and Cloud9 in control, looking very good here. But who do you think? Okay, so not talking about this series as much, but looking forward, who do you think would have the best chance to beat Rise? I know we just saw Cloud9 get beat up a little bit, but again, they didn't have all their all-stars kind of showing up. Which team do you think has the better chance right now if they go up against Rise?
The better chance? I probably would give that to Faze. I think
even though Cloud9 just played him, maybe figure him out a little bit, still going to Faze?
Again, I just don't know how much faith to put in them not being warmed up in Cloud9 in that previous series. Is that really the case? If so, then maybe I might give it to Cloud9 just because of that prior experience so recently.
Well, how do you feel about what Lacefield said? Because you're a pro player, one of the winningest players all time, and he said basically, it's our first series of the day. How do you feel about that? Is it like, come on, man, it's your job, man up and play, or is there some legs to that?
There is some legs to that for sure. The first game of the day is always the hardest no matter what time you're playing, right? Just to get in that competitive atmosphere, get the adrenaline going. You can't get that from a warm-up. You can't get that from a scrim. So it does make sense, but are they going to continue to play like the way they're playing? I don't know.
And Chance, you're a professional wager player.
No.
Do you share the same thought?
No.
No, not quite. But no, we're having a heck of a lot of fun up here. Just waiting for the guys. Bit of a break here before we hop into the hard point. But this is I think this is gonna be a tight one. If this one goes down to clutch time, now that's what's interesting. So you know how we talked about, you heard from Cloud9 how clutch they end up being. Lacey was talking about the clutch factor. On the reverse side of that, you heard Atat saying no matter how much we're down at a hard point, whether it's 249 to 1, they feel like they can come back and clutch up. Who do you think you take? If this comes down to the wire in the hard point, is there one side you're leaning towards? Just specifically that, it's like 230, and someone has to go big.
I think you take Cloud9 in that type of scenario. They've been the clutch kings throughout this entire tournament, all series but one going to a map 5. So if there's a team you pick in the clutch, you pick the team that's been in the situation the most and won almost every single time.
All right, Chance, you got to take one player from Faze that's going to go huge here in the hard point. They're going to shut it out and push it to a game 5. Who's your guy to go big? I know Attach has started slow. Clay's been playing well. Who is it for you?
Clayster. When they were playing against Splice, he was the one that opened it up with like a 9-kill streak. Immediately got streaks and blew the game open. He's the guy. He's the captain, the leader, who you look to come up clutch in these big moments.
So when you have so we know I know we've harped on this a lot, but it's one of the bigger storylines in this whole thing with Clayster and Aches. When you're a player and you're playing in someone maybe you want to beat badly, when you're in the heat of the moment, when it's a big time matchup like it is in the losers bracket final, are you thinking about that at all really during the game, or are you pretty just locked in on the gameplay? Are you thinking like, God man, every gunfight you get in with, he's like, oh, he killed me again, or oh, I answered back? I'm just curious, as a player, is that coming to your head at all?
I mean, if you're a level-headed person, you should be just locked in and focusing.
Is Aches a level-headed person?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not by any means. Maniac. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he walks back onto the stage and chirps some words at the Clayster. I don't know. Anything to get an edge up.
Well, what was your bit of advice for Clay? Was to yell a little bit, get into Aches'
be annoying,
head, right?
yeah.
Just try to be annoying. But you see him there now. Do you expect, what Patrick Price did we get here, Chance? Is it going to be the game 1 retaliation, the last series where he drops 40 plus, or are the Young Bucks going to take over?
I mean, I think it'd be very difficult to ever see that Patrick Price again. Like, that was a monstrous performance. Yeah. But frankly, I think the difficult part is over. Like, they won the uplink. They've already taken 2 maps. So they've guaranteed themselves at the very least a game 5, and they haven't lost a single one yet. So if I'm C9, I'm feeling very happy right now.
And statistically, I mean, you point out the uplink, they were atrocious when we were looking at the stats up top. And I'm hoping what we're given is accurate, but it talked about the uplink not being their best game mode. But now let's look to the rig draft. Let's see if there's anything that stands out to you guys. I'm expecting the norm, but let's take a look together. So far, Faze coming through. The only thing that's really stood out over the course of the weekend, probably either Centurion coming out or FTL jump. That's been about it, really.
And I guess a little bit difference of some people not opting to take Overdrive. It's really the main 3 differences.
So you will have Centurion come in for Ricky. So there will be a little bit of a difference here at least, and that'll be kind of the Overdrive Centurion conversation that we have. But guys, it's going to retaliation. It's going to be K-bars and NB4s, a lot more on this particular map. Very big. Early rotations matter. You know how important getting from Cathedral to Broken can be. Make some noise, guys, as this is going to be an epic game 4. Can Faze push it to a game 5? For now, let's get up to our casters. Puckett, Mr. X, take it away, boys.
Thank you, fellas. This is match point for Cloud9. Faze and needing to answer back, and they better hope for some better gameplay than Maven's Yellow Jacket. We're getting into this one, Matt, with Enable on your screen and with the NV4.
I thought the orange one was ugly last year, but this one's just taken.
Next level Canary. You gotta let him peacock, baby. Here we go. Enable on your screen is gonna be putting down the long range damage, but it's Attach actually with the first kill on Ricky. Blazefield is inside that hard point, so they need to stop the scoring. Here comes the contest, and they're just steamrolling through. Attach able to pick up the kills, Enable can't, and he will have control now for Faze as they start to score.
Yeah, and I mean really early in this game, right, as the first hard point, I just want to touch on, I don't know what the logic or the decision is to go with the Centurion over something like Overdrive on this map, especially with how long and how important these rotations are on some of these hard points. I think Overdrive, you definitely get a lot more with it.
We've seen it sometimes placed up here on the bridge, other times inside the hotel. Attach waiting for the push, and he will fall, but not before scoring 5 opening kills. We're on board with Clayster, and this is a big flank coming in. Unfortunately, though, he only has 1 teammate on the other side of the map. It's going to be Zuma trying to stay alive down low on the streets.
Yeah, Zuma in this lower market area in a perfect position. He got here very early. He's got 1 kill in front of him, but Lacefield wins it. It's an OSA versus a K-bar in that situation, and you see what you're able to do with the OSA up close. Lacefield wins the gunfight. And just like that, when you thought Faze was going to get control of this next hard point, it's Cloud9 with control early.
Nothing worse than setting up 12 to 15 seconds early and then just having someone come in and wreck your day. The score going back in favor of Cloud9 as they should be able to retake the lead. But let's talk big picture here, Matt. If people are just tuning in for the first time or watching competitive Call of Duty for the first time in IW, what is the key here on Retaliation Hardpoint?
Well, you're going to be looking at your next 2 hardpoints, over in Grave and then in Broken. If you're able to get to those hardpoints early and get control, you can start racking up a ton of time. We've seen teams, play close 50-50 throughout the entire map, and these next 2 hills break it open, and that's why you see those red arrows at the top of your screen getting set up here with about 10 to 11 seconds left on the previous hill, because they know they're going to make this time back at the beginning.
Lacefield, that white arrow, the player you are watching currently from Cloud9, knows that Faze is going to be set up. His job to flank and break the setup. He's going to be spotted from behind and shut down, but he's traded out. Ricky getting the kill on Zuma, and Ricky is looking for another, but he just lost all of his support. His teammates spawning so far away on that mini-map, and you see just why Faze was setting up so early.
Yeah, I mean, they give up the last 10 seconds on market, but they're going to get back a ton of time here. And Cloud9, they get that first intro kill. They're just not able to trade effectively after that. It's one that if they were able to break there, it's one that they could have put this game away right there.
Zuma knows there's a player on the other side of this wall going to go for the challenge, and he is going to win it. Catches Aches reloading. So a great hold here for Faze, and now they're going to go on the attack. They're going to leave just one player inside the Cathedral hardpoint. Watch it on the minimap, a big fight, and it will be won by Lacefield. So that's 14 free seconds of time. But it looks like Faze is going to be gunning for the full 60. They're going to have to get through 3 defenders, though, from C9. Enable gets the first pick on Assault, and this should be the second one for Zuma.
And you have one player in the back for C9. That's going to be Ricky. You see Zuma just waiting for his teammates to get over here, but Assault's going to win a big gunfight. Zuma just trying to stay alive, but not enough support. Now it's all going to fall on Enable. He's got 2 players pushing him inside of the hill. It's going to be very difficult to hold this down. He's going to fall. Cloud9 should be able to get control here.
As you say it, Ricky is able to pick up 2. Surviving through the grenades. And his teammates out on the front door, able to just clean the way for him. It's going to be Ricky continuing to score. Faze with 30 seconds left on this point, going to try and break in. But Ricky will just wait safely around the corner. Let's go watch the action outside. It's Assault really doing most of the damage, and he is looking for his 4th kill in a row.
He's just going to have to just play his life here. I mean, there's no reason to challenge this. Has another player inside of the hill, but the pinch going to come in for Faze Clan. They get a break with 11 seconds left. They'll probably leave one player inside of here and rotate towards this mid-hotel.
So we'll watch Zuma here on the mini-map. You can watch the battles going down. Zuma is going to see where the holes are in the defense and then try and exploit it on the flank while his teammates charge right in on the hard point. And Zuma says, you know what, I'm just going to come support you in the mid. Let's fight them head on. As Enable gets the pick on Ricky, Zuma's going to slide in and look for a second. He will get the kill on Aches, and now looking for another, but he will be dropped. Enable's still in the back line with the NV4, watching the left flank, and it looks like Attach and Clayster will break in.
Yeah, he's just going to watch this top patio Enable. It's going to give his team just a consistent alleyway to flow through in the middle of the map. Not going to be able to get flanked. He's going to dive into the hard point, able to get one. But Cloud9 doing a very good job, not giving up a ton of time here to Faze Clan. It's going to be Zuma picking up 2 kills, but already only 20 seconds left on this hard point.
Attach with 1:15 time already. Continues to score here for Faze as Zuma is going to pick up the flank kill. Clayster has helped Faze retake the lead, but Cloud9 answering right back. Let's go over to the rotation as Ricky is going to be battling for bridge control. He's going to find a player wall running. Outshoots Enable here, but he will be challenged, and that is Attach using the propulsion. We talked about it, being able to fly basically with that trait, able to get another kill. I'm going to stay on board with Attach through the respawn. They have pretty close spawns here, as this is just consistent contest, as both teams will just surge forward, getting the same spawns over and over.
Yeah, and about halfway through this game, when we go over towards bridge, it's a 109-109 game, and Cloud9, they fight back. 35 seconds left on this hard point. They're going to get control of it, and they are going to take the lead. And Faze, they have to be careful here, because you can actually lose a lot of time in this lower market if you contest this bridge for too long.
Attach has a rewind to pop as well. Don't expect it to come out quite yet. And he's going to go for a challenge shutdown. Aches the last man up for Cloud9 is going to watch the wipe. It's Faze now scoring, as we're going to see, can Aches break through? One-on-one battle on the bridge. That player is going to be Clayster, and it looks like Clay is going to get picked from Ricky, who decides to come out and help. Assault continues to show up in the kill feed, and honestly, I tweeted out about it. He's opened up the backpack in this series. He dropped 31 kills in our last game. He was their star in Search and Destroy. He leads the team with 15 kills here. Will stay on board through the respawn. Did not win the battle in transition.
You see how far away this Cloud9 team is spawning away from this hard point. Faze gets control of it here. And we'll see how Cloud9 tries to break. It's going to be Assault coming through the scaffolding here. Has 2 players down below, and his teammates are falling here. Does not look like it's going to be a break from Cloud9. And with 30 seconds left on this hill, Chris, with the score this close, you can consider just rotating here. You see the arrows popping up in Cloud9 in that graveyard area. They cannot lose that spot on the map.
Assault's gonna clean up Attach, so patient. He waited for Lacefield to come in and help him out, picks up 2 kills. He will be stopped though. Let's go over to Attach on the opposite end. I thought that was another play, that's Enable rather, gonna be running the wall run. He also has the camo to pop here to break Cloud9's setup. And we'll see Enable pushing through despite being hit by a grenade. He gets the flank, now decides to show himself, gets the first pick, second pick coming in as he's got teammates on the other side of the wall. Zuma is going to finish off Lacefield, but Assault is still there using a camo of his own. These payloads being used on the key hard points. Cloud9 trailing by 10, but could retake control of this game right here. Remember, they're up 2-1, Matt. This could send them to the grand final to play Rise Nation in a rematch.
Yeah, and they know that the players are coming from that lower market because one of the players on Cloud9 spawns out the bottom bridge area. And Cloud9 are going to hold the rest of this hill. They may be uncontested. It's going to be one gunfight won by Lacefield. You see in the kill feed, the only player close here. 25 seconds left. Cloud9 with a great rotation and hold here on Graveyard. They're looking poised to make that grand final.
And look at the timing here from Assault. He turns the corner, shoots a player in the back, finds a second on Enable. Clayster and Enable set to respawns as Assault will milk the hill. Faze sets up on defense, and the player who has to pick up all the kills on the left side of the map, it's all up to Zuma here.
So right now, Faze has complete control over Broken. Cloud9 has no payloads. I believe they don't have any streaks to break in here, so it's going to be all gun skill if Cloud9 is going to take this hill back.
And Zuma is showing off his skill, already has 2 kills, looking for a 4th actually. 3 streak coming in for Zuma. He rotated early, this time paying off. That is his 4th in a row. His teammates on the bridge, getting pushed though. Let's see if Enable can handle this.
Yeah, and you see, as soon as Zuma sees a teammate spawn right in front of him, he focuses over towards this bridge. You know this is where the Cloud9 players are coming from, and you see at the minimap, they are just trapped in the corner. They cannot get across this bus area. It's going to be Enable flying over the top. Ricky with a big 2-piece though. Aches with 1, and with 20 seconds left on the hard point, Cloud9 gets a break.
And this is a big 20-second chunk of time as they will go up over 200 points if they continue to hold. The next battle going to be inside the hotel. Lacefield in a great position though. The spawn split across the map. This is fantastic for C9 if you land those shots, and yes they do. The first 2 kills being scored. Ricky now coming in for reinforcements. Attach and Enable though, answering back inside the building, but for now it's Cloud9 with control. This could be so hard for Faze.
We'll see how Faze decides to break this. They get Clayster up on patio. We saw Enable do this the first time this hill came up. He was able to open it up for Faze Clan. Clay going to get his overdrive, not going to be able to use it here, but could potentially use it when he's trying to rotate over towards bridge. And Enable going to get out, play his life in this situation. I like that idea, as nobody from Cloud9 going to get on the hard point.
Attach got snuffed out on a flank as well, so this is Faze just brute forcing their way down the middle. Clayster with a 2-piece is going to clear it. I thought he was going to die on the second kill. He somehow wins the gunfight on the minimap. So now it's Aches versus Clayster. Clayster wins this one again. The split spawns coming from both directions for Cloud9 once again, but Clay knows what's up, picks up 1. For now, it's Cloud9 inside the hard point. Only 7 points remain here. It's going to be rotating. We're going to see at least 1 more hill, but it's Faze 24 points away.
Oh, and it's going to be Enable earning the Trinity Rocket. He's going to call it down. He's going to have 1 player on his screen. He's going to be able to take out Lacefield. It's going to be Faze in the hill. Can they complete the comeback?
They got a player up by Cathedral. He's going to be dropped. Enable gets the long-range pick on Assault, though. The NV4 has been so key for him. Faze 3 seconds away from forcing a Game 5, and we're going to see it. Search and Destroy coming up next.
And Cloud9 had the game in their hands. It goes to the hotel hallway, and they just blew it there. They were just not able to get in. Faze gets control. Enable gets the Trinity Rocket.
I want to give a lot of credit to Enable here. 30 kills, 18 deaths, the most positive player on the team. He had some big plays in transition. You saw the active camo coming out to break the initial setup in Cathedral by Cloud9. At the end, though, It was Clayster. Even though you saw some kills coming in from Zuma and Enable, Clayster's two-piece that was seen on the mini-map was kind of the tide turning, because then you saw all of the spawns for Cloud9 so much further away. You saw the scores from Faze. They were able to retake the lead from there, and Enable was able to fend off some score streaks, shutting things down at the very end.
Yeah, and you've seen Enable have a lot of success on this map. If you've been watching the Faze scrims or whatnot, he's able to use the NV4 and play a little bit at longer to medium range, you know, over by the bridge and graveyard. It suits his playstyle pretty well.
If you watched the first Search and Destroy, you'll know we went to around 11. It was Cloud9 who jumped up to a 4-2 advantage, and then it was Faze who brought it all the way back and forced that round 11. Are we going to see another one? It's game 5, and I've been treated to round 11s here when I've been casting on the main stage.
I don't know. I want to see. I think this obviously has the potential to go to round 11, but I did see Cloud9 play a Crusher Search and Destroy earlier in the tournament. They looked very good, very decisive. Now, I know they've had this clutch factor about them. I mean, they're not able to get the retaliation to go their way in the clutch, but you know, Game 5 has been Cloud9's bread and butter throughout this entire tournament.
Now, can you compare Scorch to Crusher for me? Is there a difference in play style? Because I know there is a, in particular, bomb site on Crusher that is in the short-range hallways. You look at guys like Lacefield, maybe this is going to be an even stronger map.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be your A bomb site. I think it's a lot safer to push over towards the B bomb site. There's just so much area to work towards. You can just jump around the corners, trade. You can push the defensive team back. I think going towards A is pretty risky.
Going towards A, pretty risky. Enable also going to have an advantage in the long-range gunfights, as he just saw in Retaliation. He feels very comfortable with that NV4 posted up in the far back. But it's going to come down to decision-making and outthinking your opponent. These two teams know each other very well. They've been scrimming quite a bit leading up to this event. And I figured both of these teams planned on playing each other at least at some point in this tournament. Not necessarily here in the lower bracket finals, though. This is a spot in the grand finals on the line. Who is moving on to play Rise Nation for the biggest chunk of our $100,000 prize pool here at the CWL Open in Las Vegas? It's time to find out. The rig draft just moments away, and there is a look at Clayster, the captain of this Faze clan, talking to his team, getting the boys fired up.
Yeah, and you know, both of these teams have put in so much time coming into this event. Obviously, Faze, the great performance at PSX. They go back home. They do not miss a beat. They are scrimming every day. And a lot of people, you know, you question Aches, whether he's about the grind, you know, is he as dedicated as he once is? This guy was on streaming like every moment of the day. I feel like he's been really kind of leading Cloud9 by example.
Absolutely, and that last shot was of Ricky. He was Captain Clutch last night. He came down to a 1v2 against ALG in their round 11, played it so smart, didn't fire his gun, was able to win the round by time. So it's not always about the kills. It's so much about the positioning and the decision-making when it comes to S&D. And as we take a look at the rig draft, nothing out of the ordinary. Ricky's sticking on that Centurion because he wants the trophy drone as his trait.
Yeah, nothing too surprising there in the rig draft. It seems like the rig draft kind of standardizing itself out over the different game modes. But it looks like we're going to be able to get right into game number 5 between Faze and Cloud9. The winner goes to the grand finals.
Las Vegas, are you ready? We got a game 5. We're going to Crusher. Make some noise. We need more G Fuel out there, Matt. Here we go. It's time. I'm on board with Attach, and he is going to be bringing out this OSA. Wants to get up close and personal, as he is going to be charging right behind. It looks like that is going to be Clayster leading the charge. We have all 4 players going with the strong B hit here.
Yeah, and this is what you're going to see, I think, primarily on this map. The B site, it just gives you so much more space. You see Attach going to go high off the wall, unable to check the site. And you're not going to be able to just get onto the bomb and be aggressive from the defensive side of things at this late in the game, right? I mean, you just see the 2 chokes they can push towards. They're going to have to pretty much give up a plan here.
Enable has the bomb in hand. Meanwhile, it's Zuma looking for first blood. He's going to find it there as Aches is going to be picked off. Another player taking Aches' position. Zuma not able to deal with it. And Enable did not get that bomb down. Too much pressure from C9 early on. They're setting up for a very long flank. You can see Clayster on the back end. He's hoping to catch players off guard. He's going to say, hey guys, the A bomb site is wide open. Make the rotation. And that is exactly what Faze is doing.
Yeah, once the bomb goes down and Cloud9 decides to rotate, if Clay can pick up 1 or 2 kills here, be huge. But you see the play from the side of Cloud9. Clay gonna see nobody here. Enable's gonna back out to watch his cross. Both teams gonna swap sides on the map.
And here's a look at your mini-map. No action going down quite yet. Wait 15 seconds, it'll all go down at once. It looks like Attach may have spotted someone inside. He's going to make the call out, working with Enable, who you saw out to his left, Clayster to his right. Clay's going to peek, and Ricky making things happen. Meanwhile, shots going down, and that bomb going to be successfully defused. Faze, I didn't want to say it, Matt.
Yeah.
They didn't check it in time.
Well, they just pulled everybody out of the site. They had no visibility on the bomb. As soon as the first guy tries to go in, get a look on it, you're going to get taken out. Ricky's on it already. I think even if they get closer to there, maybe take out one player, Ricky gets the defuse regardless. So Cloud9 gets a round 1 win.
And that was a really smart play there by Faze at the start of the round. They get the bomb down. They just didn't set up the way they wanted to. Ricky, being such an intelligent veteran, jumping right on that objective and gets the defuse. On the defensive end, it's Faze once again. Here comes the attack from Cloud9. We're going to see the opening setup on defense, but I want to show you the attack coming in from Eggs. He's going to be leading the charge on the right. Lacefield, meanwhile, spotting players on the wall run, able to punish one. Assault has his back, takes down Zuma. So a 3-2 game in favor here of Cloud9. Enable and Attach still up on D.
And you see the decisiveness coming in from Cloud9. As soon as those kills are traded out, they just book it out of the B bomb site. And now they just need to get bomb down and play trades here over at A.
As the bomb goes down, key player is going to be Ricky, setting up for the push from Faze. Catches one from behind. Attached, not checking his corners. It is punished. And now Ricky trying to be the hero, putting shots down, but knows he doesn't have to finish off the kill. Enable has to come to them. And you are not going to see Cloud9 give up any easy kills here.
Yeah, and it's
as I say, it happens.
Yeah, it's going to be Lacefield taken out by Enable. Lacefield go on the hunt for some more kills. But with 20 seconds left at 1v2, it's going to take Enable a few seconds to even get in striking distance. This one looks like, barring anything major catastrophe happening, going in favor of Cloud9.
And Enable may not win this round, but he made some clutch kills. Lacefield was 3-0. He also got the bomb down, so he's working towards those score streaks as well as his payload. Enable going to stop him from streaking out, as you're going to see this go 2-0 in favor of Cloud9. A small victory for Enable, but it's C9 with control of the game at this point.
We'll see what the side of Faze Clan goes with in this next round. Where they go back towards B, I think you'll still see a defensive setup from Cloud9 that's a little bit more towards the passive end. Seems to be their kind of go-to on both offense and defense, play a little bit more back, a little bit more passive. So you'll see Faze, they're just going to try and push up here in the middle of the map, and they can definitely catch Cloud9 off guard.
Enable on your screen, working towards some streaks of his own. He is 3-0. He is going to find some early shots, doesn't land it. Spotting players up on the catwalk.
He's not going to have a good angle here, so you're not going to be able to challenge. Now they put themselves in an odd spot, because you see inside of the bomb site here is Ricky. So you're not going to be able to just get up onto the bomb and plant it, and you're running around a lot of time here. You're not going to be able to get all the way over towards B, but it's going to be Zuma getting first blood, Enable answering with another one. So they've opened up the A site.
2 players up on defense. Let's go over to Lacefield, the defender. Assault on that mid street. Going to be rotating over to help.
And Lacefield can be pretty patient here as a ton of time, but he just peeks this right around the corner, able to take out Zuma. I think he's just waiting for Assault to get in position. He's never going to get there because Attach going to take him out. Lacefield just trying to stay alive. Faze gets on the board.
I think that jammer stopped me from switching over to Clayster. I wanted to show you this round-ending kill. Here it is, Clay. Just finding Lacefield, who is panicking with that jammer, and he is going to be taken down. So Faze on the board. The tiebreaker currently in favor of Cloud9, but Faze now has a chance to tie things up. Enable still playing perfect, 4-0. He's been involved in the objective, and he is 1 kill away from unlocking his score streaks.
Let's see what Faze does here on defense. They went aggressive through B last round. It looks like they're going to shadow more players over towards B in this one, and Enable has to be careful, needs these streaks. They'd be huge here in this game 5.
Here's a look at Cloud9, the attack coming in. Keep your eyes on Enable on that mini-map. Aches is going to pick off Clayster. While reloading, no push comes in. And this bomb will go down momentarily. If Lacefield can get this first pick instead, he's going to have to defend himself. Here comes the charge. Enable still up, trying to stay alive to unlock these streaks. A Trinity rocket could turn the tide here in round number 4. The bomb picked up by Assault, not planted yet though.
It's going to be Enable working with Attach here, just going to buddy up. They've done a good job of trading out these kills, and See the bomb picked up by Assault, but does not go down at B. And I wonder, did Enable see him cross here? If they did, they definitely have thought they've rotated all the way through. They're not going to be expecting this positioning from Cloud9.
Oh no!
Assault able to get to.
And this was the whole game plan. You're going to have Attach go out first and then let Enable clean up the trade. Instead, the windmill shots coming through. Eggs clutching up on one. Assault right there to help them out on the second. Cloud9 extends their lead to 3-1. I'd like to show them on the defensive end now. There is no more threat of score streaks coming in from Faze.
Well, when Enable sees Assault to just go around that corner, you assume that back time in the game with that much time left on the clock that they're going to be booking it over towards the A bomb site to get bumped down. You do not expect them to sit in that back corner and play for the kills.
Opening engagement, pre-fire coming in from Lacefield. Instead, it looks like Attach able to escape at least for a moment. Ricky will chase him down. Advantage in favor of C9. Enable with the bomb, all by himself. His teammates looking for a trade.
They just have no options right now. I mean, you look at the minimap and, you know, the A bomb site players are all covered from the side of Cloud9. You look over at B, there's nobody over there for Faze just yet. They'd have to rotate all the way across the map. So things are not looking good here for Faze in this offensive round.
Zuma with a big pick on Eggs, who is flying through the air. Enable knows there's opponents nearby. Spots one, calls it out, doesn't react to it, and unfortunately he's going to lose Clayster, so it's a 1-on-3. Enable in a whole lot of trouble here. 27 seconds left. The bomb's still not planted, but he does have it in his possession.
But he has no real options here. I mean, 20 seconds left, you're stuck in the middle of the map. You're not able to get to any bomb site with ease. And Cloud9, just with another very good defensive setup. They get that first blood, and then they don't give you easy kills.
And look at Assault. He spotted Enable and was so fast to react, chasing him down. Assault was the hero of your first search and destroy on Scorched. Another solid round. C9 in total control of this one. And let's go over to our attacking team. Eggs has got to step it up. The veteran, the world champion. Can he get an opening pick? It looks like they're going to play ultra defensive, knowing how fast Faze wants to play. Eggs can't land the shots, though. Another big mistake as everyone falls. It's up to Lacefield, a 1-on-4. What a push from Faze. Cloud9 looks like they're going to have to look to set up on defense. Faze has this round locked up.
Yeah, C9 was not prepared for that, and as soon as those players started coming around the corner, Ace was a little bit flustered. You saw him try to target the first one, then switched right away to the second one, not able to get any shots off. Lacefield falls, so a very good defensive push from the side of Faze gets them their second round.
Still in it, not going down yet. 6 rounds in, 4-2 in favor of C9. Cloud9 2 rounds away from victory. Faze, they need 4. It's the first to 6 in the best of 11 in Search and Destroy. This is Game 5, the tiebreaker, the lower final. Winner moves on to the championship match versus Rise Nation. We're on board with Faze on the attack. Clayster on your screen.
Now, if they're going to make this push happen and work, they're going to have to be aggressive. You see Clay go on that high wall run. He spots 2 players in that side door, and he opens it up with first blood.
Meanwhile, Enable with the bomb going to be rotating through on the other side of the doorway. A defender nearby. And Matt, you didn't expect a whole lot of plants here, but Faze pretty confident. Eggs going to get shots down, escapes with his life.
And now, I mean, you just look at this setup for Faze. They have bombed down all 4 members alive. Only 2 players up for the side of Cloud9. You see Lacefield able to get 1. It's going to be Assault, though, making it a 1v2. We saw him do it in map number 2. Very close.
If he gets another first kill, Matt, he's going to have the camo. Shots going in. Spotting both players now. He knows exactly where they're going to be. Not enough ammo and not good enough aim. Can't finish it. Faze survives, and they're going to win 2 straight, 4-3, bringing this within 1.
Yeah, if he kills the first player when he's just kind of looking through that side door and then gets camo, that's one where you could see him clutch again, because he had a lot of time left. There's about 17 seconds left on the clock at that time.
Not terrible shots from Assault, but not his best. Going to be regretting that round, but really, it was his team who put him in a bad position, just not being able to trade early on. C9 back on the attack, trying to regain a strong advantage in this search and destroy. They're going to be rotating over as a pack. And they know the push is coming. They see it on the flank, but they can't pick up the kills. Ace is going to trade out with Attach. So now it's a 3-on-3. Enable using this payload. Let's see what he does with it.
He's going to be able to get very close here and at least able to take out one. Comes behind Ricky, is able to get one gunfight. And you see, as soon as the side of Cloud9 knows that happens, they get bombed down. They take the bomb, they push straight through.
Keep an eye on those blue arrows. Number 6 going to be your bomb carrier. Enable and attach. Left into 2-on-2. And here's a look at Lacefield inching in closer towards the A bomb site. No defenders nearby, but he has no knowledge of this.
Well, they're actually going to wrap this one back, and this is kind of reminiscent to that previous round where Enable saw them go around the corner, and Enable has to have spotted these players on the outside, so has an idea. There could be a player coming on his wall run, so has to respect that, but the bomb's going to go down, and Ake's going to get caught out of position.
Here comes the reactive armor, but it's not enough. Enable is going to pick up the round-ending kill and get the defuse. Just like that, from 4-1 to 4-4, Faze is back in it.
And this one looks like it could be one that's going to go 11. Faze will not go down without a fight, showing you why they are a championship caliber team.
I only get good games, good matches, Matt. I am blessed here in Vegas.
Is that your thing? Yeah, we've had a pretty good
My
Vegas.
luck in the casino, terrible. My luck in this venue, fantastic.
I don't gamble, so I've had no experience there. My luck in the venue has been very good, though, in terms of games we've seen this weekend. It'll be Faze on offense. They have a rewind ability to use. Now Clay getting very close to his payload ability as well.
And Assault will have his camo while Aches will have his rewind after a kill. So lots of payloads coming in the final rounds. We'll see if any are used here in round number 9. This is the swing. And the rotation coming through. I don't want to say exactly where it's going, but it looks like Cloud9 has found out either way. Enable trades out. You're going to see attached at the feed. Lacefield is there as well. A 2-2, all down to a 2v1. Good luck, Clayster.
Yeah, you see everybody on Faze goes with an OSA. They try and get a very fast push. It's Cloud9 taking the round, and they are 1 round away from your grand final.
Lacefield and Assault throwing up the 1. They know how close they are to appearing in a championship match here in Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. We got round number 10 coming up. Faze needs this to force a round 11. Otherwise, it is Cloud9 versus Rise in your championship battle.
And you actually see Assault with his payload. So I think we should go on with Assault. He is the key player in this round as he has his camo. This could be huge for the side of C9.
C9 on the attack. On the other side, look out for Attach. He also has a rewind available. Clayster didn't get any kills in round number 8, so he will not have his. And here comes that camo, very aggressive. Down goes Assault. Attach is going to be the last one up. And there we have it, Cloud9 just like that, able to pick up all 4 kills. A 15-second engagement as Lacefield letting everyone know he is going to chase down the rewind and pick up the final kill on Attach. Cloud9 moving on to our championship battle.
You saw Assault come around the corner with the active camo, a little bit of shaky shots. He's able to pick up 1, and that's all they needed, because once he just comes out of that camo, startles Faze Clan, and his rest of his team pushes through aggressively, and they're able to pick up the kills.
Ricky and Aches, the veterans on this squad, so proud of the youngsters. You had 11 kills from Lacefield, 8 kills coming in from Assault. Both players going on some big streaks. Lacefield, again, turning it up at the end of games. We saw it in Uplink. He had a really negative ratio, then turned it on as they locked in the comeback. Here he does it again in Search and Destroy. But Faze, they were playing on the back foot all game 5. They just started off way too slow.
And it's a Faze team. It's a shocking result, because like everyone was saying, this is a team that is clutch. They're riding the momentum of the loser bracket. But Cloud9 just had some magic in them this weekend, man. I mean, game 5, time and time again, they have been coming up big.
This just the beginning of the year for Faze Clan. They won PSX at our Invitational, but here in Vegas, they're going to exit the tournament with a 3rd place finish. We're going to see plenty of them, though, in 2017, I have a feeling, as the Call of Duty World League will be on land this year. Can't wait for that to kick off.
Yes.
It's coming up in a few months. For now, though, that is going to be it for Matt and I. Let's send it down to the analyst desk with Maven.
Great stuff, boys. All right, well, let's talk a bit about that game 5. I didn't hear the cast talk about too much, but there seemed to be a switch that went off, TP, with the Faze side. It started to work for a while. Talk to me a little bit about what happened there.
Basically, throughout the initial rounds of that S&D, Cloud9 completely outplaying them on a strategic side of things, and then all of a sudden, Faze went no, this isn't working. We need to switch something up, and just started 4-hitting things. And that's really a good strategy to do in those sort of situations where you're getting outplayed.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a situation where you're going to get guaranteed gunfights and